Supervisor Gibson from San Luis Obispo County. Your member is CSAC, and I know you already also have a 170-acre ranch. So you've got a lot.
I have a lot, a lot going on. Thank you, Madam Chair. And as a county supervisor, of course, it's a challenge to be as brief as my colleagues at the table here, but I'll try.
5 minutes.
As you know, as you all know, counties are in the business of implementing state mandates and programs, and we fully understand the importance of our groundwater resources to our well-being, and we take our role in SGMA implementation very seriously. We are moving forward. In the early stages, there are many positive things to report. The Department of Water Resources has been very helpful. Communication has been good, and they have been quite timely in their response to SGMA questions. Exceptional outreach, as you heard from Mr. Gutierrez. Both CSAC and the rural county representatives of California, which we all know as RCRC, concur with this sentiment. And DWR staff has been quite open to suggestions made by the CSAC-RCRC Joint Working Group on SGMA, and we appreciate that very much. The facilitation services provided by DWR, the grant funding under Prop 1 have been most greatly appreciated. And in San Luis Obispo County, we also appreciate the in-person appearances by DWR and State Water Board staff, who have both reinforced their commitment to local solutions and the state's intention to step in should local solutions fail, and that's very important to us. Let me go briefly through a couple of spot examples from counties around the state based on an informal survey conducted by CSAC. Things have gone well in Santa Cruz County. They already had a JPA in place managing one of their priority basins, and they're updating that JPA to qualify as a GSA. Placer County is working well with its partners and sees no issues in making the timelines for establishing GSA and moving on to GSP. Kings County has several groundwater basins, all of which cross county lines. They are been working cooperatively with various agencies to establish the appropriate GSPs and may participate in JPAs later as that is required. Kern, Inyo, and San Bernardino County all share the Indian Wells Valley Basin, which was recently designated in critical overdraft. And they have reached a consensus to form a single GSA moving forward under a single GSP. And I think that is a particularly positive result that we should all celebrate.
Good news.
Ventura County, Fox Canyon Water Management District has been granted GSA status on 4, working on the other 8 basins in the county. And my own county of San Luis Obispo provides quite a range of issues. I can speak, if you're interested, to Senator Wolk's questions about emergency regulations, which we have taken on through our land use authority. But we have a basin in critical overdraft that touches 4 counties. We have a partially adjudicated basin in the coastal zone. We have an adjudicated basin with fringe areas that are not that are outside the adjudication, and they have to comply with SGMA. We have a basin in active litigation, but not formal adjudication, and multiple GSA eligible agencies over that basin. We have boundary adjustment issues where the technical data don't conform to jurisdictional boundaries. And we have an important effort underway as we speak to establish and fund a hybrid water district to try to represent what otherwise would be white areas over our arguably most important basin. But again, we've appreciated the cooperation of DWR and the State Board in our efforts to craft specific solutions to each of the unique situations that occur in our county. So generally no real surprises, but there are some shared concerns going forward. Forming these GSAs and negotiating this is a time-consuming process. There's no doubt about that. Mr. Boland referenced the issues about some agencies self-determining that they might be eligible to be GSAs. We would appreciate further clarity from the state in terms of which agencies are and are not. Some of these issues need to be resolved sooner rather than later. Coordination agreements will be important if we end up with multiple GSAs in one basin. How we deal with boundary conflicts, probably not the biggest idea, but we are seeing in some areas, the issue of entities starting to gear up for adjudication because they appear to perceive that they are have-nots in a world of haves as the GSA process. So continued facilitation and continued indication of how we resolve these things would be interesting. Yep. And of course, funding. I mean, we're here in Sacramento, and
counties have to ask.
Well, I heard the governor once say that it's better to have more money than less money one time, and he said it with his typically straight face, and we can take that as axiomatically true.
And your final comment
is we are looking forward to further comment on the GSP regulations, further funding, and further work at the state level on interagency coordination, for instance, between the State Water Board and the Coastal Commission on SGMA compliance. We appreciate the effort and the ability to participate today.
And I noticed Mr. Gutierrez is sitting through all your testimony here, so that's
well, I appreciate and do appreciate that.
Yes, Senator Wilk can't resist asking or making one comment.
Just a very brief comment, particularly about, no, I can't resist. Supervisor Gibson, I just want to say that there's an important ingredient in all of this, because we've left to the local communities, primarily the counties, the jurisdiction over getting something done, and it requires a board of supervisors that's willing to confront the kinds of things you were describing and the difficulty of gaining consensus, and where there is no consensus in an emergency situation, you acted, and you started in 2013. So I just wanted to say that's pretty amazing, and you should be congratulated for that.
Thank you
and your board and previous boards, if that applies.
Thank you very much, Senator.